Let's go straight across and get our guests in from the ground in Karnataka. Mohan Krishna, spokesperson of the BJP in Karnataka. Aishwarya Mahadev, spokesperson of the Congress party. Aishwarya, big day tomorrow. Rahul Gandhi is going to be there. Crucial meeting. But it looks like the power struggle, the race. And I don't want to seem like I'm exaggerating this because, for the Congress party, this is a real issue. I'm saying, is the Congress hoping that this matter will get settled? Because from the outside, it looks like this war between D K Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah is only escalating, Aishwarya.
Good evening, Shiv. I want to emphatically state and put on the record that first and foremost, the Congress has already put forth, the leadership has already told us that the 2023 elections is going to be fought on the plank of collective leadership, and every single Congress party member, irrespective of caste, creed and their hold, is going to work together to bring the Congress party to power. I think the KPCC president has also spoken along the same lines. The CLP leader himself has also accepted that. However, the greatest disservice to not only the party but also the leaders themselves is people and MLAs from within or outside, or even these fan associations putting out things like this that causes more disarray and causes more communication gaps. Very singularly, the party has always held that collective leadership is what is going to win us the election, and then whoever is CM will be decided. Because you may want somebody like the CLP leader, I may want the PCC president to next head our state, but the decision is not ours. Not only will it come to the legislative party, it will also come down to the workers. And this is what we have held. And today, let me just clarify, Mr. Moily, I'm sure while not propping himself up to be a CM for the next term, has spoken about Mr. S.R. Patil as a person who has the capability to become Chief Minister, and the Congress party that way is blessed. We have a lot of opportunities, or rather a lot of very tall stalwarts capable of being CMs, and I think that is what he spoke about. However, again, even if Mr. S.R. Patil wants to come to the forefront and fight for, the party in collective leadership, much appreciated. And that is the stand. Whatever anybody else says, the leadership has made it extremely clear. Tomorrow, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is coming to Hubli to go to that one license, the Khadi Grama, the industry that manufactures the original Khadi flags and has the ISI certification, which the central government has recently revoked and allows for polyester flags to be made. Mr. Gandhi will be visiting that and having a political affairs committee of Karnataka meeting, following which he will be visiting the birthday celebrations of Chief Siddaramaiah ji in Davangere. So as of now, none of this is not coming to clear anything, Shiv. Things are very, very clear. If people don't get the message, then they'll be warned even more sternly in
But Aishwarya, you're blaming these fan agencies, but with the greatest of respect, it's all very well to say collective leadership and, the issues on which it will be fought. But the fact is, the two people who are having a go on an almost 2-3 daily basis are two leaders who have mass bases. One of them has been a chief minister, the other is your Congress state president, and it's not even thinly veiled anymore. You've got D K Shivakumar saying, I've done all the cooking and now somebody else will come to eat. He talks about not having a birthday celebration. There was one day where on 3-4 occasions in different public meetings, he all but propped himself up to be the chief ministerial face of Karnataka. He did that in the Vokkaliga heartland as well. So the sense one gets is that there is a factional problem within the Congress party and time is running out.
Shiv, let's make one thing very clear. At no point can you negate, the former chief minister aside, at no point can you negate the fact that Mr. D K Shivakumar is one of the tallest leaders in the Congress and in Karnataka. He does have a mass base and he appealed to his community to support him, which I think has been clarified as there is nothing wrong, and the aspirations of anybody who wants to be chief minister next is something that people have already proposed. But the fact that the leadership has made this clear, both of them are extremely large mass leaders. Instead of individual leadership, if you combine them and have collective leadership, you have far more of a base, far more people support, and far more popular when you go to the elections. And Mr. Shivakumar has also made it very clear that for him, he wants to bring the party to power and nothing else. The next step ahead is something that can be seen. And I believe very strongly that this is the sentiment that is running through. However, nobody should fault anybody for having aspirations. However, he is not been somebody who says, I will not do this unless I'm given this. He is not blackmailing the party.
No, no,
He
I
has not
agree.
put one foot
I agree with you
past
with that.
Lakshman
I
Rekha
agree
that
with you about that. But the point, we all know how elections work. It's, you know, collective leadership is a great thing. They're all mass leaders. But at the end of the day, voters are looking for clarity of purpose, unity of purpose, a single leader who is going to be the chief ministerial face, not a party that's allowing its tallest leaders to sort of take pot shots at each other in a pretty direct manner. The other point is, and I want to bring Mohan Krishna, I'll come back to you, Aishwarya. Mohan Krishna, you know, we're not discussing the merits or demerits of the Congress party and what chances it has in the election. But as a politician in Karnataka, what are you making of this? Because the fact that Siddaramaiah and D K Shivakumar are tall leaders is beyond debate. They are tall leaders, they are both elected representatives. My question to you is, in the perception from the BJP, from the public, are these two leaders undermining each other? And in that sense, is it advantage BJP?
Shiv, very good evening to you.
Good evening.
Shiv, if you have found out the issue properly, if you decode it properly, I mean to say, before elections, I don't think Congress has done these kind of things earlier. That is one part. The earlier question in the opening you asked, is the lack of leadership is the problem with the Congress? Absolutely true. That is the issue of the Congress today. You have seen in Punjab how Sidhu and Cheney were problem. Today they have the same problem. Rahul Gandhi went there and announced Cheney, and how badly they have lost in Punjab. You know that well. I'll come to the point of whether it is advantage BJP or not later. Coming to the point, he will come tomorrow, he will do the same thing. We are very happy. कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत करने के लिए कोई दूसरा नहीं चाहिए. सिद्धरामैया बस है और डी के शिवकुमार बस है, राहुल गांधी बहुत काफी है, बहुत काफी है. This is one point. Second point, I will tell you something. This is a teaser for 2023 elections. The script has to be written now, the film has to be made, and it has to be released by 2023. By then you will see Mr. Kharge candidate, Mr. Moili candidate is already S.R. Patil, then you will have another XYZ candidate, then you will have ABC candidates. So Congress will be full of leadership quality leaders.
Okay.
I want 10 leaders want to be a CM. They have
Aishwarya, I think the point generally is, and you know, I don't disagree entirely with that point, because it's a technical point. The point is that, you know, unlike the BJP, the Congress appears to be, you know, tolerating this kind of public debate. This is the kind of thing that should be happening behind closed doors. Because let the voters see unity. The voters don't need to see these leaders taking a pot shots and their ambitions coming out in public and colliding in this manner. And Mohan Krishna is right when he takes the example of Punjab. That kind of fighting between two public leaders gravely eroded the Congress. And that over there the Congress was in power.
You know, Shiv, first and foremost, I believe anybody who is talking outside, who is taking this sort of their opinion about who is the next leader and whatnot publicly, has been severely and promptly reprimanded, no matter how big or small or tall that leader is. And I think the recent letter to Mr. Zamir Ahmad Khan is proof enough. The singular fact in the party line is this, and if they do not have respect for it, then action will be taken against them. But it's very rich of Mr. Mohan Krishna to talk about what happened in Punjab while we remember the 3 CM scenario in Karnataka. Today, the BJP workers themselves are rebelling against the BJP government and Mr. Bommai, who, if you look at Mr. Chakravarti Sulibele's tweets today, who's one of the most profound proponents of the BJP, he says the CM had more time to go watch a movie and shed tears than to shed tears over a Hindu karyakarta who had died. Their house is not in order. They are blatantly corrupt and they have their own issues to face. And Mr. Yatnal, please let us not forget the eternally entertaining Mr. Yatnal, who tells us exactly what happens with the BJP government. So please, sir, check yourself before you throw stones in your own glass house. And my party will sort its issues. My party will obviously resolve what it is, because the idea is not one person or two people. The
Okay.
idea is preserving the idea of democracy
But this
and
is-
giving clean governance to Karnataka that the BJP has blatantly forgotten in,
It's
and
an
in their
opportunity.
callous manner to make
The
their 40,
reason-
50, 60% commission to obviously vie for the chair
You
of
can-
Chief
Come on,
Minister.
stop, Aishwarya. Come on, stop, Aishwarya.
You can answer that. Go ahead. Okay, we're getting into the specifics of the Karnataka government. Go ahead and answer that. Then I'll ask my final question.
I would like to ask a simple question to Aishwarya Mahadevan today.
Mahadev, sir, Mahadev. Not Tamilian, I'm a Kannadiga.
It's okay. It's okay, fine. No problem. See, your leaders were telling in 2013 that BJP has changed three chief ministers. Today I am asking you, Aishwarya, you are naming already 4 chief ministers candidates. What is this you are doing? What is that you are trying to do to the people? Shiv, is it not a confusion in the Congress? Congress is not
I'm
confused.
saying that. I'm saying
And they are
that.
trying to confuse people more.
They're not
But I will
answering
tell you
anything.
something. Congress might be confused, but people are not confused. They have convictions that Congress is not going to come back to power. Let them have this tussle, this teaser.
My final point
climax
is,
or whatever maybe, let it happen. The final results will be for the party which is ruling well under Bommai and BJP party.
Okay,
and let
so-
me answer to that what she was talking about our party workers and Chakravarti Suli Bele. Mr. Chakravarti Suli Bele is a Hindu activist, and we are ready to talk to them. If we have problem, he has not said about the government, he has not said about. Come on, stop about that 40%.
Okay,
you
okay.
could not prove that. Aishwarya, don't talk that.
let's not divert now. Let's
that
not.
time you prove it in the court, then you talk.
Let's not divert. Let's not divert. Okay. That point has
Yes.
been made. She's made the point. You've answered the point. Because since we have limited time, I'd like to come to my last point. Aishwarya, Rahul Gandhi coming there tomorrow, affords its own kind of opportunity to, to put up a united front. Put out the optics and show that the party is united, because this is not a Congress BJP thing. There is a public perception that one represents as well. The reason why this election is important, every election is important, but the reason why this is especially important is because this is an opportunity for the Congress to put up a strong show before the 2024 election as well. It's an opportunity for momentum. So my final question to you is the Congress hoping that Rahul Gandhi will send out some kind of a message that will end the little niggles? You're calling them little niggles. I'm saying they're more serious. But will they be ironed out post this visit by Rahul?
Shiv, first, Mr. Mohan Krishnan will never answer the question that's given to him. But besides that, Shiv, tomorrow when Mr. Rahul Gandhi comes to Karnataka, one thing is very clear. His priority first is the Political Affairs Committee meeting to give us the vision for the next election. And I'm very sure he will emphatically state the point of collective leadership. If somebody wants to have posters all across claiming or proclaiming they're the next chief minister, it is an absolute bad taste. And I believe that the party will look upon it as such, because any sort of arm twisting, any sort of blackmail, any sort of pressure being put on by any leader across from anywhere on the Congress leadership has never borne any results, because the Congress party believes you have a responsibility greater than your own self-interest of power, and you have to deliver to the people of Karnataka a government. I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi will make that emphatically clear in what he says, because no matter what it is, the Karnataka Congress is going to the polls together. We're going to win it together, because this is not about one caste community, one former CM, one CM who will be, but rather it is about the people of Karnataka and to deliver the people of Karnataka from the clutches of this corrupt BJP
20
government.
seconds to Mohan
That
Krishna.
is the truth.
20 seconds.
Yes.
20 seconds.
Yes, Shiv, I am very happy that Aishwarya has accepted that they have to go together, that they will not. That is for sure. People know it today. And look, they have to get the blessings of the people and then talk about the chief minister. Second thing. Very importantly, Congress has lost how many elections, Shiv? Can you name it? Can you give me the figures? Can Aishwarya tell me that today? How many series of elections they have lost? Series of elections and series of states they have lost. They have lost here, and forever they are going to lose. They are not going to come back to power. We are going to come back to power with thumping majority. We have an able leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi.
The question
and
is,
we have an election machine king Chanakya, Mr. Amit Shah, and we have a leadership in Karnataka, Mr. Yediyurappa, as well as Mr. Bommai is doing an excellent job.
Okay, out of time now.
If they want to prove that 40%, if they want to prove, let them prove it in the court and then talk.
Will the Congress
not unnecessarily create the issue of 40%?
Okay. Will the Congress be optimally battle ready with these little infightings that are continuing to go on? Can it be brushed aside and called collective leadership, or will it actually undermine the party's preparedness to mount a real fight for the BJP is the question. Maybe the tide will turn. Maybe we are missing something completely. We'll have to see how it goes. We will cover it very closely. Aishwarya and Mohan Krishna, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for being with me here on 5 Live.